Yeah.
Please,
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 please.
I would also note as well that what you'd mentioned about it prevents suicide. There is no good data to back that up whatsoever. In fact, the best long-term study that's been done on this shows that suicidality for trans people is the highest years after the so-called affirmative care. But the main issue is that there really aren't that many credible, reliable long-term studies. Well, why is that? Well, the answer is that we haven't done this to kids on this kind of scale ever before in history. And so this group of children right now, they are the lab rats. We're experimenting on them. And so anytime you hear from medical authorities that, well, we know that it prevents suicide, what they're telling you is that they think it does, they assume it does, they claim it does. They couldn't possibly have the evidence for it, because to have the evidence for it, they would need to be able to point to thousands of kids who were transitioned 15 years ago, and let's check back in with them and see how they're doing now. We just started doing that at this scale recently, and it's also just it also defies common sense as well. The idea that not only does it defy common sense, but I find it frankly grotesque that the way to stop a child from tragically hurting themselves is to affirm their belief that there's something wrong with their body, that they were born in the wrong body, that they're the wrong person. No, the way to help anyone who's in despair in that way, especially a child, is to help them towards actual self-acceptance, who you really are. So if you're a biological male and you're a boy and you're 15 years old and you feel like you're a girl, the message should be, no, you're a boy, and that's a wonderful thing to be who you are. And we will help you to accept that, because it's wonderful to be who you are. This is who you are. That should be our message. Instead, the message they get from the medical community is, well, oh, okay, if you feel like you were born in the wrong body, then you were, and we'll start chopping pieces of you off until the bad thoughts go away. And I just find that to be utterly horrific and insane on its face. Sure, on the parental rights bit, I think that, really it's a simple answer that we believe in parental rights, I believe in parental rights, but you don't have the right to directly harm your child. You know, child abuse is against the law in every state, as well it should be. And even if parents are, I think in some cases, parents themselves are being duped by the medical establishment, and then in a sense become victims as well. But whatever it is that motivates it, if you're sending your kid in to be chemically castrated and sterilized, you are harming your child, and you shouldn't be allowed to do that under the guise of parental rights or under the guise of anything else. I would also say, too, that no matter what adults say, and no matter what adults approve of a child undergoing these kinds of treatments, those adults don't have to live with it. You know, a young girl is getting double mastectomy, a boy's being chemically castrated, someone's being sterilized. Children are having the ability in the future, when they're adults, to have children of their own, is being taken away from them. Well, that's a burden that they're going to have to bear on their own, which is yet another reason why we need to step up as adults and protect them.